The world's technology industry is realizing something terrifying for them. They are no longer the customer, they are the supplicant. For more than a century, the Democratic Republic of the Congo has been treated like a vending machine. Foreign powers insert instability, press the button, and out comes the world's wealth for just pennies. But on January 12, 2026, that machine didn't just stop. It started demanding ID and a much higher price tag. The DRC's state miner, Gécamines, has exercised its legal right to take 100,000 metric tons of copper from its joint ventures and sell it directly on Congolese terms. No Swiss middlemen, no London traders, and with copper now trading above 13,000 US dollars per metric ton, Congo is no longer just selling metal. It is selling permission for the green tech economy to keep running. The DRC didn't just find more copper, they found its spine. And remember, if you want more Africa First stories the Western media ignores, hit subscribe. We don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth. And by the end of this video, you'll understand how Gécamines trading just turned Congo into a geopolitical gatekeeper, and why the era of cheap African minerals is officially over.
Moving on, West Africa is now firmly inside the US-China power struggle. And this time, the battle line runs through Congo. Kinshasa is now making its most direct play yet to bring the United States into its mineral-rich heartland. The Democratic Republic of Congo has formally handed Washington a short list of high-value, state-owned mining assets. Senior Congolese officials confirmed the list was delivered last week. Analysts say Congo is opening the door to Washington at a moment when Washington is racing to break China's grip on critical minerals. The list includes projects involving cobalt, copper, manganese, lithium, gold, and other critical minerals. These assets are controlled by state-owned mining companies. Congo says they are not locked into long-term contracts and are legally cleared for new partners. The list has now been submitted to a joint Congo-US steering committee created to manage this minerals partnership. The next phase will involve formal talks and negotiations with potential US companies. For Washington, the timing is no accident. The United States is scrambling to reduce its dependence on China. According to the International Energy Agency, China currently controls between 47 to 87% of global refining capacity for minerals like cobalt, lithium, copper, graphite, and rare earths. And DR Congo sits at the center of that supply chain. It produces more than 70% of the world's cobalt. It also is the second largest copper producer globally, only after Chile.
In a previous Africa Power report, we showed how the DRC was systematically underestimated by the global mining lobby. That miscalculation is now costing billions. Under Guy Robert Lukama, Gécamines has transformed from a passive minority partner into a sovereign trading power. For decades, Congolese copper and cobalt were pre-sold through foreign trading houses before they even left the ground. Congo dug the ore, someone else set the price, and that ended in January 2026. Gécamines launched its own trading arm, allocating roughly 10,000 metric tons per month for direct sales into the United States, China, and the Gulf, capturing the trading margin that used to vanish into offshore accounts. So, Western tech CEOs are holding emergency supply chain meetings. That's billionaire language for the people we underpaid are learning math, right? So you're told that resource nationalism is reckless, that if Africa asserts control, investors will flee. But the truth is, flee where? The DRC controls most of the world's cobalt and remains one of its top copper suppliers. No batteries, no EVs, no power grids without Congo. Capital flight is a myth used to keep Africans from opening the vault. So welcome to the mineral vault era. By becoming a direct seller, Gécamines is no longer a price taker to London Metal Exchange. It is now a price influencer. If Congo holds 50,000 metric tons because prices are too low, the entire global market reacts. That isn't volatility, that is sovereign leverage. So investment is welcome. Charity is over. If you want the metal, talk to the man who owns the dirt, right? First, the US-China chessboard. Let's talk about that. So Washington needs Congolese copper for the grid expansion, military electrification, and EV supply chains. Beijing needs it for manufacturing dominance and battery control. Gécamines has already moved to prevent strategic firms like Shemaf Resources from falling entirely under any one bloc. And for the first time in history, Congo is choosing who gets access. Second, it's African bargaining power. When a state controls trading, not just mining, it controls timing. And timing determines price spikes, supply squeezes, and industrial leverage. Congo is now able to coordinate with other African producers like Zambia, Namibia, Guinea, turning minerals into diplomacy. Thirdly, the domestic economy. So, new 2026 mining rules require a portion of copper to be refined inside the DRC. That means smelters, technicians, logistics hubs, and skilled laborers, not just raw exports. So at prices above 13,000 US dollars per metric ton, Congo's mineral tax base is projected to surge, funding infrastructure that foreign lenders once called impossible. So people are saying, but Mr. Empower, won't these scare investors? Right, because they were so comfortable when they controlled everything. So look out for Riyadh. The DRC and Saudi Arabia are discussing a mineral bridge, pairing Gulf capital with African minerals. So that breaks Western monopolies' control over mining finance, right? We're moving toward a mineral OPEC. So African producers coordinating supply so the green transition cannot be built on African poverty. So this builds on what we've covered previously about the African Union's common mining policy, right? So that vault is being consolidated, and once it's locked, the world doesn't move without Kinshasa's consent. So the DRC is no longer, we'll say, a conflict zone, right? It's a power zone. The world used to treat Congo like a pantry, and now it's a vault. And the person holding the key speaks Lingala and Swahili, right? So, MashaAllah, that's your African Insight for today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because I'm Mr. EmpowerTV. We don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth behind them. This is Mr. Empower, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.